Hi everybody, Dr. Mark Costas here, founder of the Dental Success Institute and author of the book, Pillars of Dental Success. And in this week's episode of Weekly Dental Wisdom, I'm going to be talking about the #1 mistake that dentists make when they're delegating duties out to their support staff. So the #1 mistake that dentists make when they're delegating things out to their support staff. That's all I have for you this week. We will catch you next week for another episode. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Okay, so the dentalpreneur, dentist, clinician, entrepreneur. Put them together, you got dentalpreneur. That's brilliant, right? See that play on words? I trademarked that. I don't know if I invented it, but I put a trademark on it. So the name of my next book is called The Rise of the Dentalpreneur. It should be coming out this time next year. I have two guys that have already contributed to it, Jason Lowry and Dr. Aaron Nicholas. Thank you guys. They've already written chapters. Look out for that one. But that's trademark dentalpreneur. Here's our unique challenge as dentalpreneurs, because that's what we all are in this room. Since the owner is the primary service provider, the generator of revenue, the support team must be responsible for running all other business activities while the owner is producing dentistry. The biggest mistake that most dentists make in running their business is that they allow the operational systems to develop organically and run by the staff without accountability. Does that sound familiar to anybody? It's okay, I've done this many times. I've had 6 dental practices. I probably didn't figure this out until the last 2. I found the most brilliant people I could find. I found a team of Michael Jordans and installed them into my practices. If I had to pay an extra $2 an hour, heck yeah, I'll do that all day long. The only problem is Michael Jordans are in short supply. But I was lucky. I had some Michael Jordans. I put them into my practice. They came up with the most fantastic systems. We were efficient. Patients were happy. I was collecting 99% of the revenue that I produced. Things were good. The only problem is sometimes Michael Jordans get traded. Sometimes Michael Jordans have a spouse that gets transferred to Japan. Michael Jordans go away. And when Michael Jordans take their systems away with them, and we have no idea what they were doing, the success goes out the door with the Michael Jordan. Big problem. I hired the best people in my practices. I had no idea what they were doing, because I was producing dentistry. And that's all fine and good until they start leaving. Or they realize that they're Michael Jordan and that the practice can't run without them. Sometimes an even bigger problem. The dentalpreneur practice model. Foundational stuff first. Left brain, right brain. There's some controversy about this, whether or not the left brain, right brain thinking is this defined. But the way I learned it in psychology when I was an undergrad, I was a psych major, was that left brain thinking, pragmatic, linear, logical. Mr. Spock from Star Trek. That's left brain. He was all left brain. Right brain thinking, holistic, emotional, everything's a whole instead of individual parts. Not so logical. The only problem is, to be a successful business owner, you have to think with both sides of your brain, right? We're pounded into our head all through undergrad, all through dental school. Left brain, left brain, left brain. Think about it. Anatomy. There's nothing emotional about anatomy. It is what it is. Histology, biochemistry. It's black and white, guys. Calculus. Left brain, strictly. Okay, we use 100% of our left brain. We get into dental school. What do they do when we get into dental school? Gross anatomy, biochemistry, histology, more of the same stuff. Left brain, 2 more years. Get into clinic. Oh yeah, this right here, this thing right here, that you sit in your chair, this is a person. And you need to talk to that person and explain what you're going to do and encourage them that you're not going to kill them. All of a sudden, this right brain that we've never developed, we have to use that. And what is dentistry? Seriously, does anybody know if you deliver a 3-degree taper? Does anybody know that you have a distal open margin on tooth number 31? No, but they know how they were treated at your office. They know if you remembered their cat's name. And isn't it funny? When you do that, you were a good dentist. That guy is a great dentist. I could be the worst dentist in the world, but if you treated her correctly, or him, whoever your avatar happens to be, you are a great dentist. So all of a sudden we get into private practice, and it's the right brain stuff that builds the business. But we don't know how to use our right brain. We don't know how to communicate with people. I've been buried in a book for the last 7 years. So that's another big challenge that we have. And then when I do these talks, we have this foundational stuff, this fuzzy stuff. The dentists cross their arms and check out, like physically check out. I start talking about foundational stuff, and people get on their iPhone immediately. Boom. What are my stocks doing? Did my team make the tournament? Checking out immediately, because we're not comfortable talking about this foundational stuff. Core values, mission statement, vision statement. Why we do what we do. What exactly it is we want. How we're going to get there. Who's going to help us. Foundational stuff. Dentists don't want to talk about that. But if you go back to my example, if you tease out all the models of all the successful businesses in all the different industries, this is where everybody starts. Foundational stuff. Create that culture in your office. What are your core values? What do you all agree on? What are your non-negotiables? What will you never do in your office? What will you do every time in your office? That's the foundational stuff. We're going to touch on that. Don't zone me out. Operational systemization. A collective sigh. Okay, systems, left brain stuff. I can sink my teeth into this. Now Mark's talking about something. This is how we make money. That's what you guys all want to talk about, but you got to do the foundational stuff first. Operational systemization, huge. This is the star, highlight, box, arrow thing. Number 2, huge. You walk out with a handful of systems that you can implement into your office Monday morning. It can change everything. And you won't be held hostage by the Michael Jordans. Overhead control. Tracking and metrics. You'd be surprised at how many people know 3 metrics. What are they? Anyone? Production. Collections. New patients. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Steve. Production, collections, new patients. That's it. I go into a conference call. You got any financial reports? No, but my collections were this. My production was this, and we're 3 up on our new patients this month. And they're all happy because they know their metrics. Those aren't metrics. Those are like whether or not your lights turned on yesterday. That's not even scratching the surface of what the true story is, your financial picture. What do I say about production to my guys and gals? And? That's right. Production just feeds your ego. Steve, you're on it today. Production feeds your ego. Collections, profit, feeds your family. Those same people that know production, collections, new patients, boom, 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 they know it. What's your profitability last month? Does that mean like 30% of what I paid my, no. You don't know what your profitability is. Let's work on that. Profit feeds the family. Production feeds the ego. It doesn't matter. I have clients that produce $4 million a year. Unfortunately, their monthly overhead is $480,000 a month. So they're losing about $50,000 a month. I just came up with that. Don't check my math, you left-brainers. But what I'm saying is, I also have clients, thank you. I also have clients that produce $60,000 a month, collect 60, and after they pay themselves 30%, they still have $11,000 left over. Who is better off? The $4 million practice or the $720,000 practice? And I'm not, hey, look, I am the guy that built up 6 practices. I believe in all different models. It has to fit your personality and your overall goals. But the bottom line is, if you're not profitable, what are you doing? So let's get to profit first. First, let's identify where you're at. And it's beyond those 3 numbers.